All right, let's talk about how AI actually learns. But first, I'm going to hit you with a statement that might sound a little crazy.
You see, you haven't actually talked to an AI. Nope, you've talked to a pattern. A really, really convincing one, for sure, but still just a pattern. One that's been built out of billions and billions of words that we, humans, have written. And here's the part that's kind of wild, the part that nobody really tells you, that AI doesn't understand a single word it's saying. Seriously, not one.
So wait a minute. If it's not thinking and it's not understanding, then how on earth does it actually work? Let's get into it. The whole foundation of how this stuff learns, it has nothing to do with intelligence as we know it. It's about recognizing patterns, not following a bunch of rules. To really get this, just think about how you learned what a cat is. No one sat you down with a biology textbook to define feline, right? You just saw a bunch of cats. Your brain just kind of figured it out on its own. Well, that is literally what AI does, just on an absolutely massive scale. You just feed it millions of examples, photos, text, whatever you got, and the AI just starts to notice things. It sees that pictures labeled cat tend to have pointy ears, whiskers, and this particular eye shape. It sees this connection over and over and over again across millions of images. And this brings us right to the core concept, pattern recognition. It's all about finding these little statistical connections in gigantic piles of data. So the AI isn't thinking, oh, hey, that's a cat. It's predicting this particular collection of pixels has an extremely high probability of being what humans call a cat. It's all just a game of probabilities. So what's actually doing all this learning? Let's take a look under the hood at the machine inside the neural network. The real workhorse here is the neural network. Just try to picture this giant web with billions, and I mean billions, of tiny little switches all connected. Think of each one like a tiny little dial. Every single time the AI gets an answer wrong, say it calls a dog a cat, the whole network corrects itself by tweaking thousands of these little dials, just a tiny bit, trying to get a better setting. And after you do that millions and millions of times, those dials eventually get tuned just right. And this exact process, this simple trial and error, is how ChatGPT learned to write. It's how image generators learned to paint. And yeah, it's how those recommendation algorithms learned precisely what video to show you next to keep you scrolling. But this amazing ability to copy what humans do leads to this huge misunderstanding about what's really going on inside. And that brings us to the biggest misconception of all. This is the one thing that really separates what an AI does from what a human mind does. It's the huge difference between prediction and real understanding.
Think about it like this. A person knows fire is hot because they've felt it. It's a real experience that's connected to a concept. An AI, though, it knows fire is hot only because in the mountain of text it was trained on, the word hot just happens to show up next to the word fire billions of times. It's purely a statistical connection. So this is the key. It's the difference between actually knowing something and just knowing what knowing something looks like.
This whole thing works incredibly well, but it leads to a part of the story that, well, even the people who build AI find a little bit unsettling. It's known as the black box problem.
Here's the issue. Those billions of tiny switches we talked about, they all interact in ways that are so complex, it is basically impossible for a human to follow the logic. You can see the information that goes in, the input, and you can see the answer that comes out, the output. But that whole middle part, where the actual decision gets made, it's a complete mystery, a black box. And this has some really serious consequences, right? When an AI denies someone a loan or flags a medical scan and we can't figure out the logic behind it, well, that's a problem.
The AI gives you an answer, a picture, a piece of code, and you might even trust it. But if you ask it how it got there, it's got nothing for you. It can't show its work. So let's put all this together. It's time to kind of reframe what AI really is based on everything we've just gone through.
The next time you're messing around with an AI and it says something that just completely blows your mind with how smart or creative it seems, I just want you to remember this.
Just remember, it doesn't know what it just said. There is no internal thoughts, no consciousness, no aha moment happening inside that machine. All that happened was a calculation. It just figured out that those specific words, in that exact order, were the most statistically probable response to what you typed, based on the trillions of data points it's seen. And this is the wildest part of all. That single, simple process, just predicting the next word or the next pixel over and over and over again, is what has created something that can write computer code, pass medical exams, and hold a conversation that feels deeply, deeply human.
And that's the big paradigm shift here. It's not smart in the way a person is smart. It's powerful because it has basically seen everything humans have ever bothered to write down and put on the internet. That's AI. It's a vast, predictive, pattern-matching machine. And that leaves all of us with a really fascinating question to think about. What does it actually mean to know everything without understanding any of it?